and welcome. My name is Jules and I am a yoga teacher at the HRC here at Butler University. Obviously, I'm in my home studio today, but I'm so glad that we can get together for our yoga practice. Today, we've got a 60-minute Hatha yoga practice available for you. It's good for all levels, so make sure that you only press as far as is comfortable for you and your body today. Some days you might find that you are super flexible, and some days you might find that you're just not. And that's okay. Either one is perfect and what your body needs right now. Your practice is always your practice. If you find one pose today that you just love and want to hang out in all day, that's totally fine. Please feel free to do so. If you find that there's just too many down dogs and you need a break for a second, that's okay too. Go ahead and drop into a nice child's pose and hop back up when you're ready. This is your time. This is your practice. I'm just here as kind of a gentle guide. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin in a nice child's pose position. So bring your feet together, knees about mat width apart, and reach forward for a nice low back stretch. On your next inhale, gently push up into a downward dog position. We're just starting our practice, so your leg might be a little tight. So go ahead and pedal one leg at a time, gently stretching out those hamstrings, awakening the energy in your body. On your next exhale, lean forward for a plank pose and gently allow your body to fall to the ground. Inhale and bring your upper body up for a gentle cobra pose. Breathing all the while. Gently lower to the floor and push back for downward dog. Bring that right leg forward for a low lunge. If you need to help that leg to the front of the mat, that's okay. Sometimes our hips are a little less stretchy than we'd like them to be, but that's all right. On your next inhale, bring that back leg out to the center of your mat. Straighten that front knee and gently lean forward in a modified pyramid pose. Kind of gently bringing your nose towards your knee. You don't need to touch it with your nose, that's okay. But just do what you need to get a nice stretch all along the back of your leg. On your next exhale, bring both palms to the mat, push back for downward dog. What we do for one side, we need to do for the other. So bring that left leg forward for a lunge and hold. Each time we hold a pose, I want you to try to focus on your breath. Slowly breathing in through your nose, filling your chest, filling your belly, and then out through your nose or your mouth. Gentle back and forth of the breath. On your next inhale, bring that back leg to the center of your mat, straighten your front knee, and gently lean forward, stretching the back of that front leg. On your next exhale, go ahead and lower those palms to the ground, stepping back for downward dog. See if you can press a little further this time, pressing your heels towards the mat. If you still can't reach the mat, that's okay. We're still warming up, so if you need to take time to pedal, feel free to do so. Make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. We have a tendency to get all choked up, but we need to release and relax and allow our bodies some peace. On your next inhale, gently walk your feet to the center of your mat, gently raising your upper body just slightly. Allow your arms to dangle in ragdoll pose. You can sway or you can stay still. You can grab your elbows or you can let your arms hang loose. Whatever works best for you in the moment. As you inhale, gently roll up your spine, one vertebrae at a time, into mountain pose. Let's take a few deep breaths as we stand in mountain, feeling the space in our bodies. Let's begin our practice with the sun salutation. On your next inhale, raise your arms toward the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga, or you can also hold a plank. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. And hold. Bring your feet to the center of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, return to mountain. Once more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank or chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog, and hold. Keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Weight distributed equally between your feet and your hands. As we breathe. Bring your feet to the center of the mat. Bring up to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, mountain pose. That felt so good. Let's do it once more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga or plank. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Remember, if you need to ever drop to child's pose, that is always an option for you. Bring your feet to the center of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, mountain pose. Beautiful. Let's begin our standing sequence. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga or plank. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. That should all be familiar. This time, raise your right leg into the air and bring it towards the front of your mat in a low lunge. When you're ready, raise your torso up for warrior one. On your next inhale, rotate your torso and your back foot so that your back foot is parallel with the mat and your hips are facing the side of the mat. Straighten that front knee, hinge at the waist, and gently lean forward for triangle pose. Keep your knees nice and soft. If you're comfortable, you can gaze up towards your hand or down towards the floor. On your next inhale, raise your upper body, bend that front knee for warrior two. Front arm is reaching out in front of you, your back arm reaching behind like a warrior, strong and proud. On your next exhale, lower your front arm to your thigh. Raise your other arm up overhead so that you're creating a nice straight line all the way down the side of your body. If you need a deeper stretch, you can bring your hand to the floor, or you can bring your hand to a block if you have one, or of course, you can keep it right on your thigh. On your next exhale, circle that arm down so both palms are on the front of your mat. Push back for a downward dog. Whew. Here's your rest. This is your break point. If you need to drop into a child's pose, feel free. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and do the other side. Bring that left leg to the front of your mat for a low lunge. And when you're ready, raise your torso up for warrior one. On your next exhale, gently rotate your body, your torso, so your hips are facing the side of your mat and your back foot is parallel with the back of the mat. I'm going to turn around so that you're not looking at my behind. Into warrior two. Straighten that front leg, hinge at the waist. Allow yourself to come forward for triangle. On your next inhale, raise your torso, bend that front knee for warrior two. On your next exhale, bring that front arm down to your thigh, your other arm up and overhead for a nice straight line down the side body. Again, if you need a deeper stretch, you can put your hand on the floor or on a block or on your thigh, of course. On your next exhale, circle that arm down, placing both palms on the mat and pressing back for downward dog. Press deeper into this downward dog if you're comfortable. Keeping your shoulders away from your ears, heels pressing towards the floor. On your next exhale, gently walk your feet to the center of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, return to mountain pose. Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and get started with our balancing series. So I'm going to rotate this way so that you can see my body a little bit more clearly. As you're standing in mountain, you can bring your hands to prayer position at the heart center. Bring your right leg up towards middle and gently allow it to rotate to the side for tree. Now, you can have your tree pose here on your ankle, on your calf, or up on your inner thigh, whichever is most comfortable for you and your body today. The only place I don't want you to put your tree is right here on your knee. We don't want to put any undue pressure on your knee joint. So find a good place for your tree. If you'd like, you can raise your hands above your head and breathe. On your next inhale, bring your knee back to center and allow it to come to the floor. Lower your hands back to heart center. From here, you're going to allow yourself to gently lean forward, allowing that back leg to raise up for warrior three. Now, you can keep your hands to your sides, or you can raise them above your head and gently reach out as a counterbalance. You can go all the way, or you can go just a little bit, or somewhere in the middle, whichever works best for you right now today. So hold that warrior three and continue to breathe. If you feel a little wobble in your ankles, that's okay. That means that your ankles are getting stronger, right? Your balance is improving. So make sure you continue to practice. If you fall over, that's okay. I fall over constantly. So on your next exhale, gently bring yourself down. Hands return to heart center. Inhale, bring that left knee up and gently rotate it out to the side for tree pose. Inhale, bring your hands up if you're comfortable, or leave them at heart center. On your next exhale, bring that knee back in, gently lower to the floor. Hands return to heart center. Allow your upper body to gently tilt forward, arms reaching up for warrior three. You might find that one side is a little bit easier to balance on than the other, and that's totally normal. You might find that some days you're super flexible, you're Gumby, and some days you are the Tin Man and you can't do anything, and that's all right. The important thing is that you practice. On your next exhale, gently allow that foot to lower to the ground. Bring your hands back to heart center. And give yourself a nice deep inhale and exhale. Let's go ahead and move on to back bends. Inhale, raise your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga or plank. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Allow yourself to come forward for plank. And then gently lower your knees, your chest, and your chin to the floor. On your next inhale, bring that upper back up for a gentle cobra pose to warm up our spine a little bit. You should have your upper back muscles do most of the work here, so your hands are just barely touching the mat. On your next exhale, lower gently to the floor. Inhale and allow yourself to come up to your elbows. So your upper back is doing a lot of the work here. You're going to bend your left knee and reach back with your left arm to grab it for half frog. Don't let yourself sink into your shoulder. You want to make sure that your back is doing this thing. And when you exhale, go ahead and release. Let's do the other side. Reach for your right ankle. Don't sink into your shoulder. And hold the back bend. On your exhale, go ahead and lower to the floor. Push back for child's pose. Ooh, stretch it out just a little bit. Come up for a tabletop position. You're going to bring your knees so that they're touching and gently sit back for hero pose. It's a nice gentle back bend. On your next exhale, bring yourself up so you're standing on your knees. And bring your feet together. You're going to reach back for a modified camel. If you can do a full camel, please feel free to do so. A full camel looks like leaning back and grabbing your ankles. Personally, I'm not quite there yet, and that's all right. What we can do is a modified camel. So put your hands behind your back, keeping your hips right above your knees. Allow your upper body to gently back bend. On your next exhale, bring your body up. Allow yourself to fall back into a child's pose. Stretching out that lower back. Ooh, just did some work. When you're ready, go ahead and push up into a downward dog. One of the best downward dogs of your practice yet. Feel your heels push towards the floor. Raise that right foot into the air. Bend. And then bring your knee up between your hands for pigeon pose. If you're looking for a little bit more difficult challenge for this position, you can raise your foot a little bit further up in the pose. If you need it a little bit easier, you can bring it back closer to the body. Another way for a deeper pose, or a deeper stretch in this pose, is to release down to your elbow. I'm not gonna lie, pigeon is one of my favorite poses of all time. It's a beautiful hip. If you lower to your elbows, go ahead and raise up your torso. Allow yourself to fall back onto your sits bones with your left foot stretched out to the side. From here, allow your upper body to drape over your left foot or your left leg and reach for your foot. If you can't reach your foot, that's all right. Reach for your thigh, your knee, your calf, whatever works best for you. On your next exhale, go ahead and release that pose. Gently move your knees a little bit further apart. Your left hand is going to go in front of your left calf. Right arm reaches overhead towards your toes. for gate pose. Keep your right hip anchored towards the floor. Try not to let it lift up. On your next exhale, go ahead and release that pose, bringing your hands to the front of your mat and gently rotating back up into downward dog. This is the last downward dog of our practice today, so make it a good one. Shoulders away from your ears, heels pressing toward the floor. Raise that left leg up. Bend and bring your knee up between your hands. Adjust your leg as you need for your own difficulty level, whichever is best for you. And if you need a little extra stretch, gently lower down to your elbows. On your next inhale, if you're on your elbows, go ahead and raise your torso and gently allow yourself to fall back onto your sits bones. I'm going to rotate so that you can see me. So your right leg is out to the side. Allow your upper body to drape over that right leg, reaching for whatever part is most convenient for you, whether that's thigh, knee, calf, toes, whatever. On your next exhale, go ahead and release this pose. Gently move your knees a little bit further apart. Take your right hand just on the outside of your right calf. Left arm raises overhead, reaching for your toes. Make sure that left hip stays anchored towards the floor as you stretch in gate pose. On your next inhale, go ahead and release that pose, bringing both hands to the front of your mat, rotating your body and pushing up into downward dog. Thought we could do one more. It seemed like fun. I don't think we've done enough so far in our practice. On your next exhale, allow yourself to lower to a tabletop position. Gently cross your ankles. Allow yourself to come to a comfortable seated position. When you're comfortable, go ahead and extend your legs out in front of you and lower yourself back so that you are laying down in a Shavasana position. But we're not a Shavasana yet, so don't get too comfortable. Go ahead and raise your right leg into the air. You can grab your right leg with your fingers if you'd like, or if you have a strap or scarf or a belt, you can use that too to have a deeper stretch. Raise that right leg up to the center and hold. On your next exhale, allow that right leg to gently fall open to the side. Make sure your left hip stays anchored onto the floor. Try not to allow it to rotate. Again, you can use that strap, or you can have your fingers out to the side, whichever works best for you and your body today. You sick of me saying that yet? So important to listen to our bodies and what they're doing right now in the moment. On your next inhale, bring that right leg back up to center. Release your strap if you use one. Hug that right knee into your chest and release down in front of you. Time for the left side. So bring that left leg up towards center. Oops. And hold. On your next exhale, allow that left leg to fall to the side. Keeping your right hip anchored to the floor. Inhale, bring that left leg back up to center. Release your strap if you use one. Hug your knee into your chest. And gently let it fall down in front of you. Raise your knees so that your feet are flat on the floor. Your knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. Bring your right ankle to the top of your left knee, making a little bit of a triangle with your legs. Lift up that left leg and hold for a figure 4 stretch. This is another opportunity to use your strap if you can't quite reach around your thigh. Strap is a useful tool to help us try to make our arms or legs a little bit longer in case we're not super flexible. It can also be used to deepen a stretch if we're not quite getting enough. On your next exhale, release both feet back to the floor. Bring that left ankle up to the top of your right knee. Raise your right leg and hold. On your next exhale, lower both feet to the floor, and then gently allow your legs to straighten, bringing yourself to a comfortable Shavasana pose. as we settle into Shavasana, know that the only thing that you have to do is nothing. Very few times in our lives are we going to be asked to do absolutely nothing. This is your moment to relax entirely. Allow yourself to slowly sink into the floor. Feel your toes sink into the floor, followed by your feet, your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips, your belly, your shoulders, your arms, hands, and fingers, your neck. Allow your facial muscles to relax. Allow everything to ease and release. There is only your breath filling your belly, releasing. Gently bring awareness back to your body by bringing small, wiggly type movements to your fingers and toes, allowing them to gently bring you back to the present. When you're ready, gently roll to your right side, keeping your eyes closed as you're going. Keeping your eyes closed, gently bring yourself up to a seated position. Let's take a few moments to breathe together before we end our practice today. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, gently breathe open your eyelids. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me and for sharing your time. Hope you have a marvelous, marvelous day. Namaste.